Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Alright, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I am still on this Iqon ACT. The battle is real, you know. These skates have so much potential, but have one major flaw. And that is the stiffness and forward flex, focusing solely on the cuff structure. Okay, now when I say that, I don't just mean the cuff itself, but I mean the structure of the boot inside the cuff, which I believe is what the main issue is that I'm having. So I kind of wanted to go over that real quick so that everybody can really understand how the cuffs function and how to kind of go from here. So I want to like these skates. I keep putting them on my feet. I keep loving the way that they fit. I keep thinking about how well they slid and how well the grooves locked. But I can't get over the fact that I can't move my legs, or I can't crouch. I have such limited mobility. And from somebody who really likes a good stiff skate, this is just over the top. So, you can have one end of the spectrum. Let's say that the Faction. The Faction is a very, very, flexy skate. Allows you to move around. Allows a lot of ankle mobility. Forward, backwards, laterally. You really have a lot of ankle mobility. It takes a lot of strength and skill to really control that. Me personally, I'm kind of a bigger guy. And having that little bit of support is upsetting to me and just makes me uncomfortable skating it. So, I swapped the cuff out on the Factions for myself. I put a UFR cuff on there, and that seemed to help out a lot with the lateral flex, but not so much with the forward flex. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but, my main focus right now is on the ACT. Trying everything I can do to get these to work for me. So, real quick, I keep mentioning the cuff. Okay, the cuff is the problem. The cuff is the problem. The cuff is one piece. The cuff is one piece of this system, and the cuff is not solely responsible for the lack of forward flex. Forward flex has more to do with the shell itself. I'll do a quick demonstration. Which one? Okay, so this one right here is, I've modified one of them. This one I have not modified yet. And I want to show you guys exactly what I mean when I say that there is no forward flex. Okay? It's not moving. Like, you see the back of this right here does not go much of anywhere. So when I'm pushing into it with my leg, with all of my weight, it's just running into this. And the only flex that I get is this little bit of stretch in the shell, a little bit of flex of it moving forward. Backward, no problem. I can go backward a little bit, but I don't really use that too much. I flex in. This is just running into a wall. And that's the big problem. So it comes down to the internal pieces of this. And I kind of want to show a couple for instances of what should happen when you push down on that. So get this out of here for a second. I've got a couple different skates here and I just want to show you how they work. So I'm going to go from one extreme, the Faction. Okay, now currently, again, we're only talking about forward flex here. So having the UFR on here, I don't think makes much of a difference because the forward flex is basically the same in this versus the stock cuff. It's the lateral flex that's stiffer on this. And that has a lot to do with the cuff itself. But the forward flex has more to do with the shell. And if you watch this, it just goes forward. And that's because there's nothing here, right here, to block it from moving so far forward. So I've got these things tight on here to reduce as much flex as I can, But still, it just goes. Let me clean that up. I don't like the look of that. There we go. So again, super forward, super easy. You know, and again, I've got this cranked tight. So there's a lot of resistance in here, as much as I can get. But still, it's super easy. Let's see. Sebas are similar in that aspect. However, they have this material, this leather material that goes from here all the way up. There's not much actual material beyond that. It's just leather. So that leather creates a good amount of support, but you can see that it still flexes up just a little bit. Now that's what makes these so good for wizard skating, is that there is forward flex. You can see how it moves. However, it's still very supportive. This leather right here is super supportive. So it moves, it's connected here. If I took this cuff off, some people even skate these cuffless, which I find absolutely insane. Like, I would never. But you can see that it still moves. It's not a lot, but it moves. I wish I had taken the wheels off there. It would have been a lot easier to move it around. Let's see. This one right here, the Standard. Standard is known for being a very stiff skate and a very stiff, supportive cuff. And this is the V1. So it's not the V2 where it's the new material. This is the hard, super sturdy material. But even then, if I push down, you can see it rockers forward. It takes a little bit of effort, but it still moves. The Gods. Again, it moves. You can see the movement in the cuff moving forward. It's not a complete and total stop. Now, you're talking about small movements. It's not a lot. I'm not looking for like the Faction one where it's a big thing, but this little movement, I don't know if you can see it. There's these two fins right here in the back. I'll have to zoom in on this. But if I push, you can see that the fins come together. I have another skate, the USD Sway. This is like one of the most flexy ones in the world. This is actually more flexy than the Faction. This is one of the original USD Sways to come out. I don't know if they've changed it since then, but I mean, you can see this one's super soft, just free floating. I didn't like this one. It was way too flexy for me. I have the UFR. So this is basic internals of almost every skate. Yes, there's a little bit different design in how these little fins are, but these fins are what is responsible for a lot of the forward flex. So as they go, they bend forward, allowing that cuff to press in, and the more supportive and the more sturdy they are, the less flex you're going to have. Right now, one of my favorites is the Echo Verve. Echo Verve has a beautiful movement. Very nice forward flex. It is supportive. This cuff is stiff. Right now, this is my kind of go-to when it comes to good forward flex, because that is nice. I have to put a little bit of weight into it, not a ton. I have a supportive liner in here to help reduce it, because it does, looking at it, it looks like it moves a lot, but it has a lot of, you have to really kind of get it. Very nice, well done, well made. But again, nothing, not even a little bit of movement. Now, let's take these apart. The Revolver system allows for you to choose any cuff, supposedly, any cuff that you want to attach and use that cuff on this skate. So if you like a softer cuff, that's all well and good. Use a softer cuff and maybe it'll move and flex a little bit better for you. However, I don't think that that's the main issue. Oops. Oh, I thought I lost that. All right, these little plastic inserts here, this is a great idea, wonderful little thing that they have on here. So the cuff, it's not that stiff, honestly. It moves pretty easy. Like laterally, it's got a lot of flex. You know, I can move this thing around. Let me undo it and really show you. Like, there's nothing much about this. It's a pretty basic cuff. Where I have the faction cuff, the stock faction cuff. Oh, there we go. You know, it's a lot more flexy. And that's why I never used that one. However, I had a UFR cuff around here. FR cuff. Super stiff lateral. You know, opens and closes, bends like this. It's not so bad. I would say that the FR cuff, the FR cuff is much stiffer than this cuff. And I use the FR cuff constantly. I like the FR cuff. I think it's a great one. The FR itself is a really good skate, but it just doesn't agree with me. Whatever. So here we are. I've modified this boot. And I want to show you the modification that I made that I was told would work a little bit better. Take these apart, show the difference. I don't want to lose any of these. I still want this skate to work. Unlike some of the other ones that I've given up on. Alright, so can you see the difference between the two? The modification that I made, there's this little bridge right here connecting. Gone, not there, or there, not there. What I thought would be that if you pushed here, like the back of the cuff is pushing in on here, it would allow these fins to move a little bit more forward, because when the cuff is on here, this is all pretty tight. It didn't do anything. Like, I can push all I want and nothing is happening. Do I have one that I've already taken apart? You know, I'll take apart the Gods and I'll show you that. We'll compare, because this one looked, when I was playing with it, looked very stiffer than I remember it. But I don't remember having an issue with the Gods. I remember enjoying the Gods a lot. You know, last time I did this, I said, hey, when you're doing these videos, bring power tools. And guess what I didn't do today? Alright, God's cuff. Let's take a look at it. Flexy, flexy, flexy. I would say, to be honest with you, it's a little bit softer than, it's a little bit soft. This one is a little bit softer than the Iqon. A little bit, just a little bit. Okay. So look at the difference between the two of these. Both of these are Power Slide products. Okay, you see these fins right here? They move, no problem. These fins right here, they move, no problem. When the cuff pushes forward, it pushes the fins down. Works pretty good. This one, not so bad right here. Tight, but not so bad. Here, like, it's too much. It's just too much. So they have these little lines going across here. Okay. Now, to my understanding, if you cut those down and you remove sections of this plastic, that will allow the cuff to bend a little further. However, when the cuff is on here, come on. When the cuff is on here, it's connected, it's touching right here, down at the very bottom. This is touching the shell. That is above the hinge. So when it pushes in, again, like it is so tight. I don't even have it, it's flexing because I don't have it bolted. It's just not moving. Like if I took those out, maybe it would move. But how much of this am I going to do? How much is going to change if I cut those? Am I going to destroy the skate if I cut those? I've never done that, and I don't want the kind of flex that you find in the Faction. It's just too much for me. So this is kind of where I'm at right now. This shell fits me great, but this right here, this section is just so dang tight. And if I push on this one, you know, you can see it move. Like, this material is a great material. This, if they had made this right here out of this, like, I don't see why it wouldn't be a problem. Like, this is a very strong shell, very, very strong shell. You know, tight upper here. It's a lot softer there. A lot of it probably has to do with thicknesses and things like that. I don't know. I'm not a skate tech, but I can tell you just what I'm experiencing. So cutting these made little to no difference. So I don't want to cut more of this and have little to no difference. That's just kind of where we're at. So anybody out there that can help me figure this out, help explain, I do want to touch on one thing. Let's go ahead and, because you can put a different cuff on here. So let's try the God's cuff and see what happens. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Okay. Alright, so it won't fit unless I move the revolver piece. So let's move the revolver piece to its furthest back setting. Let's see what happens. Come on. There we go. So furthest back it goes, because that's where the problem was. The cuff wasn't big enough. Alright, furthest back. Come on. Is that lined up? Oh. Nope. So it doesn't fit. Let's bulk one up. Oh, that looks nice. Look, that reminds me of like an old, what, the Throne? Old Thrones had that kind of look. Or even, I think they even had a Sway that had that look. Oh my goodness. All right. Alright, let's undo. That is undone. Alright, let's see. Can I make it work? I like the black. I like the gray and white though. That's a nice touch. Come on. If I can just get that there. Yeah. Gosh. Works with any cuff, huh? Works with any cuff. Well, the first one I tried didn't work. So, now this is a current Power Slide product too. It's not like and now the Revolver piece isn't set in place. Oh, damn it, the hell with that. Let's try one more setting. Let's just try one more. Maybe if I move it up and if it's a little bit higher on the cuff, it might work. Oh man. Best money I've ever spent. No, I take that back. I take that back. This is actually kind of fun. Tinkering. I like tinkering. Alright, that actually looks like it might work. If I can find that revolver. Damn you, revolver. It's a tight fit, we'll see. Alright. Well, I will say, it's a good look. So, you know, it's got that going for it. Oh. Whole lot of not much. I mean, it just pushes down a little bit. I guess it moves a little bit, but there's nothing back here. No movement back here. There's got to be a little bit of something to do. Let's try one more. It's just, you know, just for shits and giggles. We'll try one more. And then I may give up on these because the way that they were and how they skated was not how I like it. Oh, and another thing to add about this revolver system. So the revolver system is designed to give you six different settings. Okay, so 6 different settings. Of those 6 different settings, 4 of them work with the stock cuff. The other 2, the 2 up here, the cuff's not big enough. It won't reach. Now maybe you can rocker the cuff if you want part of it back, part of it forward. I don't know what you would use that for. It's not something that I would do. So can I fit this anywhere? No. No, the faction cuff will not fit. And that's the loosest cuff that I own. And it won't fit. So, FR cuff, oh that's the FR. That won't fit either. So that's kind of where I'm at. So, it doesn't take every cuff. It doesn't make a difference if you cut this. It doesn't move at all when you try to move forward. It's not doing what it's supposed to, or what we're told it does. Okay, with the exception of this, and this is a really big exception. Again, it fits so perfectly, so wonderfully. I see other people skate it so perfectly. You know, what have they done to make it work? What have the pros done? What, you know, you got Chad Hornish killing these things. You got Haro Friend killing these things. You have Leonardo, I forgot his last name, but he's killing it. The kid from Brazil, they're killing it. Everybody's, the pro team, Montre, you know, well, Montre is an exception. He kills it in everything he does. But this has so much potential. It has so much wonderful potential. And I really just hope that we can figure out a way to make it work. That's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, If you want to give me an idea of something to try, I can certainly do that. I mean, I've tried different liners in there. You know, you look at the liner, it flexes. I mean, granted, it's flexing here, but I mean, that's where the liners are going to flex. They're going to flex right there. They're going to move a little bit. You know, it moves just fine. Not a big deal. That's a stock liner. My Intuitions, my Wizard liners, you know, they move just fine. You know, that's where the hinge is. It works. No big deal. So I'm at a loss. But if you've tried anything, if you have these skates, let me know what you've done. Let me know. Maybe if they work great for you, that's awesome. I'm so happy that they work for you. And please, 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 anybody out there thinking about getting these skates, don't let my personal frustrations with them hinder you wanting to experience and try and support Iqon, because again, what they've made is they've made a pretty great product. The problem is it's fallen short in certain aspects, and it's fallen short in certain functional aspects. So again, I'll keep trying, I'll keep working on it, but right now, this is where I'm at. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.